All right, it's here, hot girl summer. And by hot girl summer, I mean I'm hot. I'm sweaty, I'm sticky, I still want to have my makeup last all day, so that's going to be what we're talking about today. I am going to be sharing with you tips and tricks to keep your makeup looking fresh, and all of my favorite products that I know that are going to get me through a day of warm weather. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. But like I said, today we are going to be working on a steamy look that's for the steamy weather. I really dig this. I feel like I'm sort of like J-Lo in the jungle. I know some of it has to do with the headband right now, but as I was like creating this look, it just built into this like very like, I don't know, just like I said, J-Lo in the jungle moment, and that sounds great to me. I'm gonna go with it. So I feel like this is a bit smoldery. It's going to last. It's nude and neutral, but it still has a little bit of something with the eye. So I am going to share with you everything that I used. These are products that I know, like I said, that can get me through a full day of hot weather and still look good. All right. So one thing is I must have been so excited to use all of these steamy weather products that I forgot to click record for a very decent portion of this video. I just actually realized it as I was putting my mascara on. I went to turn off the camera to save space on my memory card, and it actually turned it on. So yes, so I will actually be doing round 2 of this look. I'm not mad, I really love it. So I'm gonna actually wash my face and you will get to see footage of me applying all of these products. But I'm gonna chat with you about all of the things that I need for hot weather, and I will insert clips of me using all of these products in round 2. But here is the final look so that you guys can see our little like summer smolder moment. Let's get into all the details. Okay, so right off the bat, if you are not new to my channel, you will know that it is not that often that I'm trying a bunch of different primers. I find that I have 1 or 2 that I really like, but in the summertime is when I definitely start to switch up that portion of my makeup game, because I consider myself to have dry tipping towards normal in the summertime, and right now I am definitely at that normal point. So in the fall and winter, I'm using very glowy primers, things that add hydration and dew, but I don't find that my skin really needs that right now. So what I want is something that just leaves me feeling balanced, leaves me feeling fresh and looking my best. Like a little bit of refinement is perfect. I actually don't have a lot of coverage on my face today, so I wanted something that is going to help a girl out with any texture, any pores. So I actually went through with the No Problem Prime Essence. Now, I've also talked on my channel before about the No Problem Primer. Whew. These are some tricky words, so I really do like these Touch and Soul products. I would say that the No Problem Original Primer is more of that like satin finish, and I like that when it isn't quite so hot and steamy outside. I would actually say that the finish of it is very similar to this Gucci one. I just pulled this out recently and I was like, these do have a similar feel, but this one really is more of an essence. So it's like a gel or a water type, and it really just lays on the skin very thin, gives you a little bit of hydration, but it isn't like overly dewy. I was actually looking on the Touch and Soul website and they talked about it being dewy and glowy. I don't think that either of these products give you a very dewy look, but it really just helps make the skin look nice and ready for applying makeup to. And because it is such a thin product, I really like that. That is tip number 1. Wear thin layers of your makeup in the summertime. I mean, really, that's kind of what I'm about all year round, but in the summer, you're not really wanting to build up a lot of makeup that's going to like start melting on your face. It can really start to have that like thick pancakey look just because the heat gets to it. If you have a lot of powders there, it just starts like getting into the moisture and the oils in your skin, and it can just start looking less than fresh. So for me, being normal to dry, this really is a nice primer this time of year. Obviously, if you have an oily skin type, you're going to want something that has more oil control to it, but for my skin, this is perfect for me. So first, we're actually going to go in with concealer, and this is really just to help with any discoloration that you may have. So if you have darker under eyes like I do, I also like to go through and prime my lids just to get rid of redness and veins. Now, if you have discoloration from acne scars and things like that, this is also when you would take care of those things with a concealer that's more like your skin tone. I have some pigmentation from previous breakouts, and to be honest, I'm at the point where I just really don't care that much. But if you do care about concealing those, you would want to make sure to touch those up. So this was really for me just to brighten my under eye, help hide some of the darkness, and do a bit of concealing where I get really red, especially on my Rudolph nose. So just bringing some coverage to the middle of the face. Now I went through with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This for me is a very ideal hot weather concealer, and it's not because it's like super long lasting. I would say it's about a medium wear, but the finish of this is really nice. It is, I would say, like a light to medium coverage, and the finish isn't super glowy, but it isn't super matte either. So I would say it's more of that like natural skin finish, which is perfect, because if you do tend to get a little warm or a little bit oily, it's not going to be like overly glowy, slide all over your face, but it also isn't so matte that you're going to be like creasy and crunchy. So I like that this is very easy to blend in with your fingers if you would like to. I personally do like to blend this in with a brush, but I also like that this is honestly something that I could even add a little bit and touch up more if I needed to later in the day. It's very forgiving. It comes in a good amount of shades, so I really do like this one, and it's from the drugstore. So once the concealer is on, that's when we go through and start to build in a little bit of our color on our face. And I actually went through, you guys might not be shocked, I've done this on my channel here before, but I went through using Color Fix as my bronzer. But what I did to help keep it a bit more sheer and a bit more workable is I actually went through and mixed it with my CC cream. So today I used the Buildable Blur CC cream from Thrive, and in all honesty, you're just going to build this up on the portions of your face that you want some depth and some bronziness. Now, that might seem like it's gonna look patchy or like you're not gonna get coverage, but I promise, as you can see, by the time we're done, because we are going to have the option to use one more coverage product, you can really get a beautiful seamless look. So on my face, I went through with about 1 pump of the CC cream and then a little dot of each gingerbread and exposed. Now, gingerbread definitely has a little bit more of that warmth. Hint, it is also on my eyes, and then exposed is a little bit cooler. I actually do want to get one of the nude Color Fix in a shade that would be the perfect bronze shade for me, but I have so many Color Fix right now, I can really make this work. And in the summertime, I do like this little bit more like, not sunburnt, but it's a little bit more on the red side of bronzed. But if you really want something that is like a true nude shade, if you will, you can go ahead and get one of the nude Color Fix, and then you also have one tube, but I also can use these for other things. So, you know, I'm not gonna go too much into the Color Fix, but the nice thing about this is that the Color Fix are waterproof, which also means they're going to be very highly sweat resistant. So this is really going to have great longevity, and mixing in the CC cream is going to help, again, make it a little bit more blurrable, and it has a little bit more working time. So you're going to get a really seamless cream bronzer look, but it's going to last a really long time. So I really love that. This is definitely the most long-lasting way that I found to create a bronzed look, and I really enjoy it. So just buffing that into the skin anywhere that you want that dimension. Now, once you have your bronzer on, you can see that it really offers a little bit more coverage. It really starts making the skin look very seamless, a little bit more covered, but still very natural. So now we're gonna go through with color. And this is where I'm gonna pull in a product that I love so much and I haven't used in a while. This is the Flower Blush Balm. If you guys have been part of the fam here for a while, you'll know that I love these. And this to me is the ideal cream blush for summertime because it has such a nice thin consistency. I love a creamy emollient cream bronzer, but those tend to just have a little less longevity and a little more slidey opportunity in the summer. And I find that blush is one of the first things to wear off throughout the day, especially when it's really hot. So the nice thing about these is they are very highly pigmented. They are creamy and have a nice finish on the face, but it's not overly dewy. So a little bit of this I'm going to be able to use. I use this melon shade. You guys will see a very little bit of this shade creates a nice flush to the cheek. I do top it with another powder product, which I'll talk about in a moment, but this really just helps us lay down some color. It starts building up some longevity, and it just, again, really gives that nice skin-like finish that isn't going to fade. I would really recommend sticking to a cream blush that has more of that like liquid property and has a nice dry down to it. These Flower Blush Balms are amazing. They come in some really pretty shades. Melon is definitely one of my favorites. Now, you all know I love a good blushing moment. And for me, the summertime is the perfect time to have those really like flush cheeks. If I don't have a like bright lip on, I want bright cheeks. that is, to me, the summertime feel, either a bright lip or bright cheeks. If I have bright cheeks, then I like to keep it a little more nude with the lip, which is what I did today. And to really intensify the cheeks and to add a little bit of glow, I went through with the Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten. This is the shade Tropic Hues. It's one of those more like baked, sort of veiny, I don't know if these are mineral, but they definitely have that feel where it's like that like baked kind of sheeny color. You aren't gonna be able to see this probably if I swatch it, but it just has this really nice, like peachy pink coppery glow. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think that this just has a really nice sheen, and for me, this helps set the cream. So anytime that you set a cream with a powder, you're getting double pigmentation and you're also getting some great longevity. I really like that these baked products look nice on the skin and there's some nice sheen, but it's not like overly metallic. And I went through with the Wayne Goss 14 brush just because this brush to me is like the perfect like airbrush feel of a brush. So I find that in the summertime, I actually wear less and less highlighter because I'm gonna get a little bit of natural glow just from the heat. I will probably still highlight my brow bone, my inner corner, although I didn't with this look, but a lot of times I will still do that. But I tend to just go towards like a glowy blush. And to me, that's sort of like a one and done. It just gets it all in one fell swoop. So that's what I did with this. I really like these. I remember when Ulta used to carry this brand. They were always on sale in the 21 Days of Beauty. I would always snag a shade or two. They are so pretty. So if you haven't tried these out, I highly recommend. Okay, so here's the point where I personally feel comfortable not powdering this situation. It is all very thin, very light and easy makeup. I would maybe powder underneath my eye where my concealer is, but if you are feeling like you want a little bit more coverage, or let's say you've gone fairly heavy-handed with your blush and or bronzer and you want a bit more of a seamless look, this is where you can go through with a foundation powder. Now I'm actually using the IT Celebration Foundation Illumination Powder. I really love this powder. I've actually had this one for quite a while, but I do really enjoy it. Now as I apply, I'm showing you here half of the face done with the powder and then half without. I really like both looks. I do prefer like less of a powdered look, but if you like something that looks very blurred, very, very seamless, or you just have a more oily skin type, or you want more coverage, this is a great option. This IT Cosmetics powder is so nice and you really don't need a lot. I prefer to go through with a very fluffy brush. I think that the BK Beauty 104 is super ideal for this because it's fluffy, and don't get me wrong, this is a pretty big brush, but the shape of it really allows you to get where you want it. Let's say you really only want to go down your nose or your chin, or you have certain areas that you want to get a bit more coverage, you could certainly do that. Now for me, this is the shade medium, and this is a bit darker than the concealer shade that I put on. So if I do put this all over my face, I'm going to lose a little bit of that brightening effect. So just keep that in mind. The shade that you use is going to also affect the color that your skin is at the end of the day, right? So that is something that, you know, you kind of have to weigh out the options of, or make sure that if you do want two shades that you have those on hand to keep a little bit of a brighter effect. But I do have it on right now, as you can see, and of course I just did the refilm for you so you can see it both times, but I really do like this powder. For my brows today, I pulled out an oldie but a goodie, but don't be scared. This is the Anastasia Dip Brow. Hold on, you guys can see I don't have like blocked out Instagram from 5 years ago brows. Like, these are pretty natural and a little bit wispy. The key to getting a soft effect with Dip Brow is to really treat it like a brow pencil when you're just getting those like strokes in. It's not to like completely fill in the lines, paint by number. This, I actually just used the KJH and Spectrum 23 brush. So Katie created this nice brow brush that is just perfect to put a little bit on the tip of this brush, and I really just kept creating strokes like hairs in my brow, and to me that just helped not only like help fill in the shape but add a little bit of warmth to my brows. You guys know that I have microblading done from years ago and it's faded out into a little bit more blurred and a little bit cooler, so I really do like this. I have the shade Soft Brown. For me it's perfect because it just adds that little bit of like natural color. So you can see a little side by side of the before and after. And then to finish off the look and to just push up my hairs a little bit, I went through with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Hands down, this is still my favorite brow gel. It is lifting but very easy to use. You're not going to get like a laminated brow from this, but you still can get a little bit of like a push-up bra situation for your brows with this brow gel, and I love it. All right, now for our smoky eye situation. So very quickly, I just went through with the Danessa Myricks Color Fix in that gingerbread shade. That is one of the shades that we mixed in for the bronzer. I love this shade. This shade is like I would say like a red-based brown. So you can see it's what I have in my crease, and I very easily just blended that in. So all I was looking for was a bit of dimension up through the crease. So I very quickly just went through with the BK203 brush, and with a dot of the Color Fix, I just blended that from lid up into the crease. So I really just kind of like work both sides on the lid, and then just take that brush when there's almost no product on it. I'll even like clean it off on a towel and then just use that to blur up into the crease. Now, the Color Fix are incredibly long wearing, so this creates a very great base for any look that you're using. Now, the Color Fix are incredibly long wearing. They're so versatile. I mean, you guys know I do love using them all over the face, but on the eyes, I find that they make a great base for any shadows. So just using a Color Fix in any shade as a base to go through and lay a powder shadow over, whether it's like on your lid or you're gonna use it everywhere, whatever, it will ultimately help your shadows last longer. I really like using the nude shades. I have 2 and 4, and I use those as a base and then just put powder products over the top all the time. So these work really, really well. I, of course, now could have gone through with another Color Fix. You guys know I really love Danessa Myricks products, and I just wanted to show you something that was different because I've used the Color Fix a lot. But I have also found that the foil and cream shades, the more shiny shades from Danessa, can tend to be a bit more finicky to work with. They dry very, very fast, and you really need to make sure that you aren't using too much product, which is with any cream shadow. But with these, you really want to make sure to like get a little practice with them. So if you are unfamiliar with working with something like that, I have another brand of shadows that I'll talk to you about that I think is wonderful and still lasts a really long time. So these shadows, like I said, last an incredibly long time, but they are a little bit more user-friendly, and these are the Sydney Grace cream shadows. These are, I think, an unsung hero from the Sydney Grace brand. I love them so much. I have a lot of them. I'm actually going to do a video with swatches of all of my shades because the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale is coming up on the 26th, and I want to show you all of these beautiful shades. But the shade that I use today is the shade Phoenix, and this is this beautiful, like shifty, I would say it has like a green brown into pink. I really love it. I feel like it gives the smoky eye just a little something different. So the multi-chromes come in a bit smaller bottle or tube, and this is the full size of the like normal shiny cream shades. Now, I know that the Sydney Grace, like I said, their sale is coming up starting on the 26th, and every day they have a different special. I saw that right now you could get their new little, I think it's a 6 or a 9 pan palette for free with a $65 purchase, but every day they usually have a different special. So keep your eye out for all those specials. If I do see that there's going to be a day where the cream shadows are on sale, I'm sure there is going to be one, but if it hasn't been announced yet, you'll have to check them out on Instagram to find out all the details. But if I did see it, I will put it down here so that you guys can see. And if you want to see my whole collection, you can check out that swatch party on Instagram. But I really love using these. Like I said, they really blend very beautifully, and they last a really long time on the eyes. Now, for me, again, I actually just went through with the same brush. This is the 203, and I just dot a little bit, and I like to blend it all over the lid right away. If you're not looking for like a cut crease, I like to go in and get that blend and blur right away. But especially with multi-chromes, if you are looking for more of that shift, you almost have to lay down a layer that isn't overly blended. So I like to do a blended layer first just to get a nice seamless transition into the crease, and then I'll go back with a tiny dab and just tap that with the flat part of the brush onto the lid. And you guys will see as I do that. To me, that just gives the best of both worlds. You get a little bit of blend and a little bit of that more like multi-chrome look. Now, I think that these shadows, again, I just can't talk about them enough. I think that, you know, everybody knows about the quality of Sydney Grace's shimmers and mattes, but the creams, I just don't hear that many people talking about the creams. I think I first heard about them from Jen Loves, and I love them. Kelly loves as well. So check those out if you're looking for some beautiful shimmers that you can blend out and they last beautifully all day. And they're gonna last extra long because it's on top of that Color Fix. So you're gonna get that extra like waterproof or water resistant layer underneath if you start out with a color fix, and then you can build these Sydney Grace ones right over the top and have a beautiful 2 shadow, easy, quick look. So I always set my face before I put my mascara on, and today I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I really do think that this does help your makeup last a really long time, but it's not my favorite, and honestly most of that is because of the scent. I really don't like the scent of this. It's not overly strong. Like, I know like Wayne Goss and some other people have said, oh my god, the fragrance in this is cloyingly strong. I don't find that it's super strong. I just don't like the scent of it. So for me, I really do like the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. I really do also like the Tarte Stay Spray. I went through and used this one because I'm trying to get through it. And actually, you guys know, this doesn't actually have Stay Spray in it. It has a different setting spray in it. So just a long wear setting spray. Those 3 all work really well. So whichever one of those, if you have one. If you don't, I really do like them all. I think the Stay Spray has my favorite scent, and then the Urban Decay, and then Charlotte Tilbury. So if that's what's most important to you, that's what I would say. Okay, let's talk about lashes. Now, for me, I can definitely find that in the steamy weather, my lower lash line can start to blur and smear. And nobody loves that. Nobody wants to have that smeary under eye, especially because it can start to almost look like under eye circles. I've had that happen where I'm like, wow, I'm tired. It's like, oh no, it's just my mascara. And so a lot of times people will turn to waterproof mascara, but I truly hate waterproof mascara most of the time because it's super hard to get off. So it takes more time. And then I find that I'm also either tugging at my eye skin, which your girl is trying to save the eyes as much as possible. We're trying to not add to the wrinkle situation, so I try to be gentle in that area. But also, I find that waterproof mascara can be really like damaging to your lashes. It can make your lashes dry and brittle, or sometimes you can just like pull at your lashes or break them as you're trying to get that darn mascara off. So instead, what I would recommend is a tubing mascara. I really like the Thrive Instant Extensions mascara. I will oftentimes use this on just my bottom lashes if I really feel like I'm gonna be in like one of those hot, humid situations, especially if I'm gonna be like face down. There must be something about like, I don't know if it's like my eye skin like touches my lashes. I don't know what it is, but I find like if I'm at work and I'm shampooing, sometimes I can get a little smeary. So this works out really nicely. This mascara, I would say, is more like elongating and defining. So oftentimes I will actually still use a beautiful like thickening volumizing mascara on the top lashes. Today I went through with the Bite Upswing. You guys know I love this one. I don't have any problems with this like transferring at all, but I do find that sometimes it can be a little chunky monkey on my bottom lashes. Also, it's just that like this wand is the size of a baseball bat, whereas the Thrive Cosmetics one has more of that like, it's like that plastic bristle, but the bristles are short, so it's really easy to get in on those lower lashes without making a hot mess situation. So for me, my big tip would be switch from waterproof to tubing, and you should be good to go. I wish the tubing mascaras were a little bit more volumizing, so I do find that I still go through with a volumizing one on the top, like I said, but I have lots of days where I simply go through with this on top and bottoms, and I'm super fine with that. So if you really like longer defined lashes, I think this would be a good top and bottom lash mascara, but I really do recommend trying a tubing mascara on your lower lashes if you find that you get smears, and not just in the summertime. I know that's a thing for a lot of people, but I do find that it really helps keep that under eye looking fresh. All right, so I'm sure I shared this earlier in the video, but here is the moment where I realized that I wasn't filming for 97% of the first time I put on this makeup. So I just wanted to show you the lip combo that I use. Now, for me, if I'm looking for something that is going to be really long wearing, we all know that the best lips that are going to wear longest are going to be matte lipsticks. If you're not new here, you'll know that I really don't prefer matte lipsticks. Although, I will say, I have been wearing my Lisa Eldridge True Velvet matte, and I have the shade Velvet Beauty, and that lasted all day, hands down, no problems, and looked really nice, but I still just prefer something with a bit of juiciness to it. So for me, the best way to like have a low fuss, low maintenance, juicy lip is going to be something that's kind of nude, really moisturizing, and won't look weird as it wears off. So for me, I like to use a really long wearing lip pencil, and then something like soft, kissable, but not like so juicy that I feel like it's gonna end up everywhere if I'm like having a long day. So what I did was I went through with the Pat McGrath lip liner in contour. I really do think that these lip liners last a very long time. They're creamy enough that they don't feel really drying on the lips, but still firm enough or sturdy enough that that color lasts a long time. So that's what I have just worked onto the outside of my lip line. And then I went with the Catrice Powerful 5 Liquid Lip Balm. You guys know I really love these. I think that they are a great dupe for the Rare Beauty lip balmy thing. Like, it's more the balm, not the gloss or the gloss balm. Is it called gloss balm? Balmy gloss? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, because I think that these are a great dupe and they are way less of a price. Like, at least maybe like a third of the price. So this is the shade Glossy Apricot. I do have this in 3 shades. This is just like a nice peachy nude, as you can see. So this is just like my lips, but more nude, and I really like it. Like, I really am digging on this look. This is obviously a fairly nude with a little something, like the bit of multi-chromeness that we have on the eye just gives it that like little like hint, like where you're gonna get a double take. And I know that this will last all day long. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wash my face off and redo this for you so that you can see the full application, which I will do for you because I love you all and I appreciate you hanging out with me here on my channel and watching these videos. I hope that you find this video helpful and that this gives you either some products to try for like great hot summer weather looks, or maybe some tips and tricks. So you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if there was something that you gleaned out of this video, or if there's any of these products that you want to try. I really enjoy summer. It could be dialed back a little bit of a notch. Come like August, I'd be like, let's dial it back like 5 to 10 degrees and like 50% less humidity. I'd be a happy girl. Also, I do have to say, the headband. I know I mentioned it. Headbands to me are total like hot girl summer, because if you're like me and you have wavy hair, you start to get like the crazy baby hairs that start to stick out everywhere. You can even get those if you don't have wavy hair, but I think that it helps hide a multitude of sins. It can make a messy bun look super cute, or like a messy pony. It's great if your colors may be grown out, if you have a little sparkle to hide. I really love headbands, and for me, they are a must-have in the summertime as well. So that is gonna be it. I hope you are all having a great summer. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, share it with a friend. It really does help me out here on my channel. It tells YouTube that they should be sharing my content with others, and we can grow here in our little beauty fam. And beauty fam, let me know in the comments down below if there's a product that you think is a true must-have for summer. I'd love to know your thoughts, and I'll see you really soon.